Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and in this video of Python programming we are going to learn about file handling in Python. So we will looking at how to open a file, read a file, write a file and close a file in this video. And let me quickly start my Visual Studio Code. So why do we require file handling in Python? So the answer for this is that whenever we want to persist our data, then we need to use some mechanism, and file handling is one of the mechanism through which we can store our data even after our program has exited successfully. So what do I mean by that? We can just look at the example, and here what I'm doing is I ask custom or a user to enter a name, and then I print this name. So when I execute this program, you will see that it will first ask me for a name, and then what we have done is we have printed that name on the screen. But as soon as this program is finished or has got executed successfully, this name variable which was created in the memory and that was holding this Tom is now gone, and therefore the details or the username which user entered has been, what you can say, has been erased from the memory. So in case there is some data which we want to persist, so even after our program has got executed, so in that case we need to use file handling. So one such example can be like holding the employee records of a, what you can say, of a company. So that can be one of the example in which we want to, what you can say, store our details, employees details, and when and however we want to change them, we can change as per our choice, and it should remain in the memory, or sorry, in the system even after the program has exited. So now let me quickly show you how we can perform these operations in our file. So what I will do here is I will just open a file, and to open a file we need to use open function and then put the file name here. So I will say file1.txt, and then what I will say is I want to write to this file. So for writing this file we need to use w. So w is for write, a is for append, and r is for reading. So right now our purpose is to write to this file, so we are using the w word here. So now what I will do is I have just opened a file handle to this file1.txt, and what it will do is I will say hey, write to this file this name, and now when I run this program you will see, and then I will say fh.close. So now if I run this program, you will see that before running this program there was no file1.txt on my left side window, that is a file explorer. Now when I run this program, it will ask me for a name, and I say Tom, and now you can see a new file1.txt has been created. And if I look at the contents of this file, then we will see that Tom has been stored in this file. Now let me run this program again, and this time I will say Sam. So right now what has happened, that content of our file1.txt has changed from Tom to Sam. So what is actually happening is that when we executed this program again, then it first emptied the file, or we can say it just overwrote the content of the file which we had in our file earlier. So to preserve, or to what you can say, to protect our data from being overwritten, we need to just append the content. So what I will do is I will just use switch a on line number 9, and now, or option a on line number 9, and I will run this program again, and this time I will say hey Jerry. So if I check the content now, you can see that previous content Sam has been saved and the new content Jerry has been appended to this. But Still there is some problem, and that is that Sam and Jerry has been copied or has been written to the file back to back, and what I want is that my new record should be written on a new line, that is line number 2. So to achieve that, it is very simple. Just we can use a new line character here, and then our content will be written to a new line. So let me first delete the content of this file like this, and if I run this program again, so I will say Tom. Let me run the program again. This I will say Jerry, and you can see that Tom and Jerry has been written to a new line, because when we first wrote the first record, it stored my record on the first line, and then it wrote a /n after this, and that is why the control came to the next line. And then we again passed Jerry, and Jerry was written, and control again came to the again their new line was appended to this Jerry. So this is how you can store records. Now for reading the file of this content, we have already seen how to write in a file, but for reading we have just opened the file1.txt. but right now our purpose or our motive is that we want to read the content of this file using some mechanism which is provided by Python, instead of going and opening that file. So to do so, what we will do is we will just use the existing file handle, and we will see that hey, fh.read, and then this fh.read will read the content of the file and will return the single string to me, and will print it on the screen. So let me show you if it is possible to use fh, that is a file handle which we have to this attached to this file. So let me say test, and here you can see that what I was talking about, that if once you have closed the handle on line number 11, you cannot reuse the same handle, and it will say IO operation on the close file. So what I will do is I will just open a new file handle, and this I will say fh is equals to open, and this file handle I want to be opened on the same file in which we have stored the data, and this time we want to read the content. So R is the operator which we want to use, and then we will say fh.read, and then we will say print fh1.read, and then print this content, and finally we will close this file handle. So let's see what we get now, and this time I'll say test1, and now you can see that that the content of the file is Tom Jerry test1. So first what it did is it wrote the test1 to the content to the file, and then this test1 is again the next print statement. So what has happened here is that it has written test1 to our file, and finally when we open this file, it has printed all the records, that is Tom, Jerry, test and test1. So this is how we read a file, and here there is a slight difference, or there is a slight variation to the read function, and that is one more function we have, and that is read line. And in this case what happens is, instead of returning a single string, it returns us the content of the file in form of a list. So every new line will be returned as a new item of a list. So what do I mean by that? Let me quickly comment this code, because we don't want to enter name again and again. So I will not write it this time. I don't want to use fh, and what I will do is I will run this program, and you will see that this file1.txt has been read, and the content of the fh1.read lines has returned me a list which we have printed on the screen. And you can see that this curly, or the square brackets denotes a list, and all the lines, like it has 4 lines, so 4 lines has been printed on the screen, and this is the content of the file. So if we want to read all the content of file into a single string, then we can use fh.read, and if we want it to be read on separate or as a separate item, every line should be read as a separate item, then we can use read lines in Python. So this is all about the file handling. We will be looking deeper into it in our next video. So thank you all, and please do subscribe to my channel, and if you have any questions related to these topics which we have discussed today, then you can comment on the video. Thank you.